they weren't just going to buy new cheese wheels all the time. So it was the same cheese wheels sitting on this table in a very hot room for about 2.5 weeks.
Oh, man.
So,
What is up, Internet? Guess what? Today we have a special guest. It's exciting news, Steve.
I'm very excited.
You want to tell him who it is? No, I'll tell him. I'm really excited about this. So we have Ryan Cheeseman, who is an actor who has a part in a little small indie project, something. Just a real small movie no one's ever heard of. What was the name of the movie, Ryan?
I think it's called Jumanji The Next Level.
That was
yes,
it.
and I believe it's out in theaters today.
Yay!
How exciting!
I'd high five you, but I could just see your screen. There it is. So, how are you? Oh, thank you so much for being here. One, that is really exciting.
Yes, thank you very much.
So, you're not in the basement with us, but we'll take it. We'll take what we can get right now, which is exciting.
I'm assuming you're in Atlanta right now.
I am in Atlanta right now.
Cool.
I heard you guys tried to reach out to Dwayne Johnson first, but he got like a scheduling issue.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's true.
so-
It's true.
Well, you were always my top pick, but we'll take,
Maybe if we ever get to 1 million subscribers, maybe we can get a hold of his agent. But I think we're about a decade off from that. So
But this is wonderful anyway. So, if you don't mind, we got a few questions. I'm sure the viewers would love to hear.
I think they don't want to hear us ramble. So why don't we go for
The
it?
viewers or me, I might have come up with these just because I was excited. So, first question, I'm just going to shoot at you rapid fire, all right? You need me to slow down? I'm not going to, but I'm just All right, so first question, how many years you been acting?
4 years.
4 years? Ooh, that's exciting.
I just moved to Atlanta a 1.5 years ago. I did a couple things in Philly and New York, but New York was about 3.5 hours away at the time. So, and they're filming so much down here with Marvel Studios, Tyler Perry Studios, and all these things down here.
That is true.
So, and it's apparently, I don't know, apparently the most affordable big city in America.
Oh, wow.
So,
You mentioned Tyler Perry Studios. Did you film at Tyler Perry Studios or Pinewood or something like that?
no, Jumanji was filmed at Black Hall Studios.
Oh, okay.
Word.
Man, there's
Alright.
a lot of studios down there, isn't there?
Yeah,
It's crazy. You don't think of Atlanta as a place like that, but man, it's like becoming like Hollywood of the East Coast or whatever.
I would
It's
definitely
crazy.
say so.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
make
that's what they
peaches
call
in
it,
Georgia,
too,
right? Sorry.
We're so professional.
I apologize.
Tell us about the peaches down there.
Yeah,
Last February, I played one of the zombies in Zombieland 2.
Oh, okay.
Really? That's
exciting.
awesome.
That was filmed at Pinewood.
Oh, that's really
cool.
exciting.
So,
I happened to see that
a lot
movie.
of stuff. A lot of stuff happened down here.
Why don't you tell us about the role? What are you doing in Jumanji?
So I am a marauder.
Okay.
I'm in like the inner circle of the main villain of the movie, which from the trailer, so no spoiler, it is the actor who plays the Hound from Game of Thrones,
Okay, all right.
Rory.
I was going to say, you can't give us too many spoilers. The movie just came out today, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it's in the trailer. So.
Fair enough.
No spoilers at all.
All right, so what made you want to pursue acting in the first place? Besides, fame and fortune and all that good
So,
stuff.
I've always kind of had this interest, but I always saw it as most people see it as like unattainable. And I lived in a small town, it's super hard to get out of that kind of thing and take that risk and basically uproot your entire life to try to move out somewhere and try to pursue something that like 100 million people are trying to pursue.
Right.
But I just, every time I thought of something that I wanted to do, I would always think of something else and something else and something else and something else. And then I realized it's not that there's something that I want to do, it's just that I want to do everything.
Makes
Like,
sense.
I want to be a lawyer, but I don't want to go to law school. I want to be a doctor, but I don't want to go to med school. So if you're an actor, you can portray these things.
That's true. That's actually a very interesting. That's very interesting. You can basically be anything you want.
Yeah, you could be the worst person in the entire world, and there's no consequence because it's not real.
That's true. Oh, man.
Obviously, financially, it's not a bad gig.
I can imagine.
But so yeah, for Jumanji, I didn't have any dialogue, but I was within arm's reach of the entire cast. Rory, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Karen Gillan, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black were all kind of I could hug them all at the same time.
That's
exciting.
cool.
So it's I didn't necessarily need dialogue to take that.
So
I just want to be there. I just want to see how they work. I just want to be on that set.
So you interacted with them quite a bit, or at least to an extent?
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
So, okay, again, not a spoiler. Just setting the scene a little bit. There was this table that had a lot of food on it, and it's like kind of, let's just say paleo style food.
Okay.
And there were these giant cheese wheels, but they weren't just going to buy new cheese wheels all the time. So it was the same cheese wheels sitting on this table in a very hot room for about 2.5 weeks.
Oh man! I'm sure that was smelling great.
They kind of started to like take a little life of their own, have a little smell to them. And Jack Black was kind of just walking around surveying the scene, and he's like, "Oh, I wonder if all this food is real." And I decided to go for the joke, which and I'm like, yeah, I wonder if it's all like, certified organic. And he was just like, and I was like, well, I guess.
If it landed with us, that's the important thing.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was pretty good too. So while we're on the subject of you getting roles, so we did a little bit of stalking, and you're a pretty big guy. How tall are you?
6'4".
6
Oh, wow.
Geez, all right. So you were like, nah, basketball's good. I'll go with acting.
Yeah.
So with that,
they're like, how tall are you? 6'4"? Yeah. How much basketball do you play? None at all. I'm sorry, I wasted it.
With that size, does it help you or does it hurt you in getting roles? Like, I can only imagine there's certain characters you have to play.
I mean, you get a lot of bad guy auditions for being larger. Obviously, for Jumanji, it helped because they wanted big dudes. But I mean, even in that though, there were guys that were 5'5". They just happened to be like a 6'4" horizontally. So I don't have the. Just have the height. I have a tiny bit of width, but yeah, I'm not a bowling ball walking around.
This is good.
But I don't feel like it hurts too much. I'm getting like a decent amount of auditions, which is really all I can ask for at this point. Being only like 4 years in, I'm not looking to, be Batman right now. But eventually, maybe.
Right.
Well, it's very exciting. I mean, just being on the movie set, I think I would lose my mind.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, like I didn't meet him, but I had an audition for a J.J. Abrams show like a month ago, and I was like, just to be on a list,
I know,
something that his name is at the top of is mind blowing to me.
It's pretty cool.
Like there's a lot of kid actors everywhere who are like getting their starts when they're like 8, and I'm like, well, I'm just slightly older than that.
Yeah, that's it.
I started a little late, but it's good because you don't get jaded.
It's true.
You kind of know how real life works before.
Sure, you have
you're thrown into stardom and money.
Yeah, you have the real life experience.
I think I've bypassed like the drug route a lot of people will take.
Well, with child actors, I mean, they grow up in stardom, and then when they become adults, and then it's like, how does life even work? You know what I mean? It's like they're so used to being taken care of their whole lives, and it's just they don't have a comprehension of it.
Yeah, because I was following your IMDb page, and you have a couple degrees too. So you were, like you said, you went to school and you're experienced, and then you decided to do this. So I guess you have a lot of things to fall back on.
Yeah, it's definitely fallback. What I do with like personal training and that kind of stuff. It's like job security first, and then like throw everything you have into this, some would call unattainable dream. But obviously people attain it all the time.
Well, I'm saying
there's so much work. I mean, there's so many like Netflix shows and Hulu shows, and everybody has a show now, like for every network under the sun. I mean, now's the time to try because there's just so much going on. I mean, you can't possibly watch everything, so it's harder now to be like on the hit. then maybe at a different time, but still, I mean, they call, like, down here they call it like the Wild West because it's so much more open and like, if you're in LA and you've been acting for 4 years and you don't know someone, there's no way you're going to audition for JJ.
Right.
But down here, they're just like, hey man, let's do it. Like,
You're tall, you get over here.
yeah, they're like, you're tall, you're fine, you just stand in the background and look scary.
Right, sounds good. So you mentioned personal training. Which one would you say is the more difficult gig? Personal training or acting? I mean, I couldn't
For
picture.
sure. I mean, personal training, it's like math. It's like
I've
you
never
learn
heard it compared
how
to
to
that.
do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do such and such exercise, whatever. This is how you make a program, that kind of thing. I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm just saying it's different than, okay, go and cry in front of 50 people and a microphone and a camera.
Yeah.
It's hard to turn that on where you're like, this is a dumbbell curl. Like,
I can imagine, yeah.
A lot of imagination, I guess, goes into that, whereas not so much the other.
So,
absolutely.
the big question I need to know, any dream roles you have? I know you mentioned Batman earlier, which hashtag you could be my Batman for
Yeah,
life.
obviously Batman is a dream role, but I feel like at this point I would screw it up so hard that I'm just not gonna do that.
I'm saying Robert Pattinson's only going to be there for so long. You got a chance afterwards.
Yeah. It's not so much like a dream role as much as dream partnerships.
Okay.
Like, I want to work with J.J. Abrams. I want to work with, like, Scorsese would be awesome.
Absolutely.
James Cameron. Like, I mean, Christopher Nolan is, like, probably the #1 director I'd like to work with.
So, if he's a fan, he's got this, information.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's watching this channel.
Yeah, that's a real club. That's a hard club to break in.
He's gonna watch this on YouTube and be like, oh, this guy interviews
This
really
guy
well.
is good.
Oh, I like
Oh,
but like Tom Hardy, Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds. I love Ryan Reynolds. Like all these people, I'd love to work with. Bryan Cranston. Like just to be in a room with these people. I love Dwayne Johnson so much.
absolutely.
Even more now after being on the set with him, seeing how he works, seeing how like just genuinely good of a person he is, and how insanely hard he works constantly is like
Right.
super huge inspiration to literally everyone. I mean, anything he touches like sells out because people just want to be like The Rock.
Yeah. I was going to say, you and my wife both love Dwayne Johnson. I'm sure for 2 different reasons, though.
Well, maybe for the same reason. No, I mean, I've been watching him for, I don't know, 20 years, 25 years of my life, and now he's kind of like the biggest thing in the world, and he just happens to be in the industry that I want to be in. So if there's any chance that I could possibly collaborate with him, that would just be superb.
Absolutely. I could definitely imagine that. So, any tips for anybody coming up in the acting world now? I know you said moving to a big city helps. Anything else you would want to provide for those young guys with the stars in their eyes still?
I mean, moving into a big city definitely helps, but it's not the only way. I mean, really, especially with all like YouTube thing happening and like
What's YouTube?
YouTube.
YouTube,
I've never heard of it.
like Instagram, like all these people are like becoming bigger and getting more of a following and stuff by being wherever they are because
Right.
we have the technology we have. Like you can film anywhere in the entire world now. Just take out your phone and film. I mean, the cameras on phones now are better than cameras that they used to shoot with in like the 80s anyway.
True.
So
Almost like you can have an interview halfway across the United States.
it's almost like that. It's almost like that.
Almost like that.
But yeah, I mean, just find a group of people who are like-minded and have the same passions and drive that you have, and you will be fine. Like you'll figure out. Just make short movies. Just make anything. Put it up on YouTube. Put it somewhere. And I mean, there's tons of websites. I mean, there's casting calls all the time. If you want to go do like extra work or something, just to like get on a set, like I said, like where you guys are, you can do that in Philly. You can do that in New York. It's not that far. It's like an hour to Philly. It's a few hours to New York. Those real pain in the butt taking the train to New York.
Yeah. You writing any of this stuff
But
downstairs?
yeah, just to get on
all
the
up here.
set, just to see how the pros do it is a huge experience by itself.
Definitely. So, last question, at least for me, and I'm sure all our nerds that watch us would appreciate. We both love video games. You into video games at all?
Absolutely into video games.
Ooh, any systems you own?
I have a PS4 and a Switch.
Switch.
choices. The Switch especially.
Apex
Hey!
on my TV right there.
Look at that. With the Switch, you might have become my new favorite actor. Look at that.
There you go.
We could talk about
I
the
love
Switch all day.
Nintendo.
But with that being said, any possibility, are you ever open to doing any voice work on any video games in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's not a whole lot of work that I would say that I'm not interested in.
Right.
I want to do voice work, motion capture, acting, directing, producing, whatever. I just love the entire industry so much, and I would just love to get my hands on.
That's a good way to look at it.
I want to learn. I want to learn everything. Like I want to, if I'm like on a show or something, then I like to talk to the crew because I like to figure out like they're the people who do the show.
Absolutely.
Just the stupid dummy who like stands in front of everyone.
Right.
But they're like the sound, the cinematography, all that stuff. I mean, you could have Bryan Cranston doing Breaking Bad, but somebody shoots it on like a cell phone and don't know what they're doing. It's gonna look like a piece of crap. It's the crew that does everything.
I definitely understand. A lot of people take that for granted, how much goes into actual
Yeah.
production. So
Yeah.
it's something we all appreciate. And it's something for somebody on the inside can really, relate to people. It's very good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any
Whenever you're auditioning for something, if you can find out how big the crew is, that's a good indicator of how the quality is going to be. You can
look at
do
it that
things
way.
with a 2-person crew,
Mhm.
but when you look at the call sheet and there's 2 people for almost every position, then that's a good thing because you're going to have a lot of minds working on it. You're going to have a lot of production value.
Definitely. Any other questions, Steve? Why we have this?
I mean, if you want to tell us the whole plot of the movie, lots of spoilers, or maybe just an interesting story involving the cast, like the cheese wheel story, anything you want to throw at us.
So there's one thing. I have to wear this giant coat in this movie, and it was. There's fire everywhere, so it was probably a good 85, 90 degrees on set. It was in a sound stage, so it wasn't
Okay.
outside. And I had this giant fur coat on, and fake fur.
Big fur, of course.
And Rory, who plays the villain, actually had a very similar coat on, but his fur was on the outside, and my fur was, for some reason, on the inside of the coat. So we're both just kind of like sweating our balls off, and it's crazy. And there's a break during filming during one part, and I'm just like sitting on a bench, and he comes over and just sits at the bench across from me. And he's like, "Hey man, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm doing good, man. I know I know you're insanely hot, right?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I can tell you're hot too. You got that coat on and everything." I was like, "Well, yeah, mine has the fur on the inside." He's like, "Oh, no need for fur on the inside." And I was like, "You're from Game of Thrones, man." I'm having a hard time right now. I didn't know that we would actually be like cursing stuff. I was like, "Yeah, man, it's just awful." He was like, "Yeah." And then
Absolutely.
he got up and walked away. I was like, "That's it. I'm
You're
done."
good. Wrapping up the movie. We're good, everybody. Oh, that's great. I appreciate it, man. That was funny.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, Wayne, we're extremely appreciative that you were able to take time out of your day to do this for
Oh,
us.
thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
So we definitely have to have you back if you're open to coming back, of course. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
So we have your number now, so we can stop you.
Game videos.
Absolutely. All right.
There you go. Perfect.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us,
Yeah, man. Thank you.
and I will see you on the next time.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
All right, thank you. Take care.
See ya.